Hi everyone, and welcome to our Time for Mindfulness workshop with Childline. It's great to see so many of you here today. My name is Niamh and I work with the ISPCC in the Childline service, and also joining me is my colleague Victoria, who's going to lead us through the Mindfulness workshop today. We're really delighted to be here with you today, and thank you for taking the time out for being with us. And we really hope you're going to enjoy today's session with Victoria. As we are getting settled, we just have a little bit of housekeeping before we start. You may have noticed that all participants have been automatically placed on mute and your cameras are off. However, if you or your teacher may need to ask a question during the workshop, you can send them in using the Q&A feature, and we'll try to get to as many of them as possible. If we don't answer your question, please feel free to contact us afterwards for more information. Just a reminder that this workshop today is being recorded and will be made available on all our ISPCC digital platforms. But don't worry, we're just recording Victoria today delivering the workshop. We're not recording any of you in the classroom. At the end, we will run a quick poll and we'd love if your teachers could give us some feedback on the session today. Before we start, please make sure you are comfortable and you have space around you for a little bit of movement. So just a little bit more about Childline. Maybe a quick hands up in the classrooms for your teachers. How many of you have heard about Childline before? I'm sure there's loads of hands popping up around the country. You know, it is important for all of us to think about who we may have in our lives to talk with if we need to have a chat. And these can be people like our parents or our carers, our grandparents, our teachers. And there's lots of different people in each of our lives, so that might look different for each of us, and that's okay. However, there's also Childline. So Childline is probably our best known service in the ISPCC, our Childline listening services, and this is our 24-hour, 7-day-a-week service available to all children and young people up to including the age of 18. Childline can be contacted by phone or online chat. It's a free, confidential listening service where children and young people speak about whatever is going on for them. So if you're like Happy Hazel here in our picture, the yellow heart, you might call to talk about being happy, or if you're feeling a little bit lonely like Lonely Leo, Childline is always there to listen to you. Children can chat online at childline.ie or call 1800 666666. We also have our Ask the Team service for children and young people, where you can ask a question about anything you want. There's nothing too big or too small, and this can be found on our childline.ie site as well. For more information on any of these services, please log on to www.ispcc.ie. So now I'm going to hand you over to Victoria, and she's going to take us through our mindfulness workshop today, and I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you, Victoria.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so now we're going to do our mindfulness time today. So some of you might have heard of mindfulness before, some of you might not have. So mindfulness is basically just a way of training our brains to focus and try to relax and be in the present moment. And what does that mean? It means that we're trying to help our brain to stop thinking about yesterday, to stop thinking about the future, and just to think about what's happening right now in our bodies. It means paying attention to what's happening right now. What are you feeling? What are we thinking? And what are we noticing around us? Without judging or trying to change it, which can be hard when maybe we're feeling or thinking things that might be making us feel kind of sad or feeling kind of frustrated. But the important thing is that mindfulness isn't necessarily about changing that. It is just about tuning in to what's going on for our bodies right now. It's like a jar of glitter. So imagine you've shaken up a jar full of water and glitter. When it's moving, it's hard to see clearly and everything feels a bit messy. But when you let the jar sit still and the glitter starts to settle, and then all the water becomes clear, that's what mindfulness can do for our minds. So when your thoughts or your feelings feel all over the place, mindfulness can help you pause, focus, and let things settle so you can feel calmer and more in control. It can also help you handle some tricky emotions, like when we feel nervous before a test or maybe upset after an argument or fight. So by taking a moment to pause and breathe and notice what's happening. You give yourself space to respond instead of just reacting. And the best part is that mindfulness is something that we can do anywhere. It doesn't have to be perfect, and we don't need to be really serious about it. It's just something that we need to be curious about and kind to ourselves. Okay, so after saying all of that, are we all ready to try out some mindfulness? I'm hoping I'm hearing everyone say yes. Okay, so our first exercise we're going to try is called wave breathing. Okay, and the important thing is that like a wave, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. So we can learn to swim, and like mindfulness, we can kind of learn just to be and nothing else. Okay, so we're going to try to sit comfortably in our chairs. You might be sitting on your chair with your feet on the floor. You might be sitting on the ground with your legs crossed. And we're going to maybe have our hands resting in our lap or on our legs. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes as well for this, because I'm going to just talk through what it's like to be a wave and what it's like for us to breathe through like a wave. And you can keep your eyes closed for this and just try to imagine what I'm saying, okay? So I'll give you a few minutes to get comfortable. We'll sit in our seats. We might sit a little bit tall, not too stiff, just like a wave, soft and natural. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you to just breathe in, breathe into your belly, feel your belly filling up with air. And then we breathe out. We take a slow breath in through your nose. And then we breathe out. And we're just going to keep doing that. We'll breathe in like a wave rising up from the ocean. So if we imagine any time that you've been to a beach, you can imagine the waves coming out from the ocean up to the sand, and they kind of come up over to the sand and then come back out again into the ocean. So we want to do that with our lungs right now. We're imagining the air filling up before we let it go. And we breathe out, lifting your body just like a wave. And a wave can get bigger. So maybe this time when we breathe in, I want us to breathe in, and in your head, we're going to count. So we're going to take a deep breath into our bodies and feel all the air into your belly and count in our heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we breathe out. And again, we count in our heads, but you can count out loud if you'd like. And like the waves from the ocean, we're going to keep going by breathing in and counting 1, 2, 3, 4. And we let out our air again, like the wave going back to the ocean. Now this time when we breathe in and count, we're also going to count when we breathe out. So now we breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in our heads, we breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Until all the air is out of our lungs. Like the waves going back to the ocean. And we'll keep doing this a few more times where we breathe in. We'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Until all the air has gone back out. Back out like the waves going to the ocean. And we'll keep doing that a few times, breathing in and breathing out. And it's okay if thoughts come into your mind. We can just think about the waves on a beach and what they can look like. And now we'll take one last big deep breath into our bellies before breathing out again. And when you're ready, You can open your eyes if you'd like, and just take a little moment to just see how we feel now after that. How does it feel that we've taken all these deep breaths into our body and let them back out again? Just have a little moment to think, how does my body feel right now? Do I feel a little calmer? Was it nice thinking about the ocean and the waves and a beach? If it was a little hard, that's okay as well, because this is our first time doing this. Okay, so now that we've kind of we've warmed up our lungs from breathing in and breathing out, we're going to try another exercise that we can use for mindfulness. And this one is really lovely. This is called the 5 senses check-in. And what's so nice about this exercise is that you can do this anywhere. And you can do this in front of people without them noticing as well. So anytime you're maybe having a big emotion, because again, emotions aren't bad or good, whatever we're feeling, if we might take a couple of seconds to ourselves, we want to take a few minutes to just try to help ourselves calm down a little bit, we can do this exercise. Or like we're going to do now, you can do it and be a little bit more obvious about it. So we're still going to sit comfortably in our chairs. Might give ourselves a little bit of a wiggle, and we'll take another deep breath, filling up our stomachs before breathing out again. Okay, and with the 5 senses exercise, we're going to think about, well, what are our senses? We have our sight. Some people might be guessing along with me before I say them all. So our first one I'm going to say is our sight. We have touch. We have hearing. Our sense of smell. And taste. Okay, so this exercise is going to take us through all of those. And it's another way of helping our brain to calm down and just think about what's happening in the moment. So we're sitting comfortably in our seats. We'll take a deep breath. We'll let it out again. And now I want you to think of 5 things you can see around you. So what are 5 things, maybe in your classroom, maybe in your hall, maybe outside, wherever you are, what are 5 things you can see? It might be something big, like a wall. That could be one thing. Could be something like a window. It could be something really small, like a speck of dust, or a little piece of paper on your desk. It could be the stitching on your clothes. Maybe you have some threads. It could be a book or a piece of paper on your table. So I want you in your head now to think of 5 things that you can see with your own eyes right now that's either in front of you or around you, and we'll name them off. So 5 things you can see. Okay. And now, once we've thought of 5 things that we can see, we're going to move on to 4. What are 4 things we can touch? So what are 4 things that you can feel right now? It could be hold your own hand and you can feel your hands. Maybe it's the texture of our clothes. So are our clothes soft or rough? Maybe it's the floor underneath you. Can you feel the floor under your feet? Or maybe it's even the air on our skin. Can we feel a cool breeze? Is it hot air coming down to us? Can we feel the desk in front of us? Or maybe a pencil or a pen? So 4 things you can feel right now. Okay, so we've thought of 5 things that we can see, 4 things that we feel. Now I want you to think of 3 things that you can hear. It might be something close, like your own breathing. Might be something far away, like some noise happening outside. You can hear me right now. And you might be able to hear somebody in your class. It could be the noise of a computer. I want you to count them off again, just like the others. 1, 2, 3. 3 things that you can hear. Okay. And now, what about our nose? Okay, so we're going to take a deep breath into our belly and breathe out. And let's have a think. What are 2 things that we can smell right now? Maybe it's the scent in the room. Maybe it's our clothes. Maybe it's lunch. Maybe if we're outside, could be the smell of flowers. Or maybe there are other smells around you that you are smelling that your nose is picking up right now, and it's going to help you count 1 smell and 2 smell. Okay, and now we're going on to 1. What's 1 thing that we can taste? Maybe it's something left over from a drink or a snack from this morning. Maybe it's our toothpaste from when we brushed our teeth. What is 1 thing that you can taste in your mouth? And if you don't think you can taste anything in your mouth, that's okay. Maybe we can help our brain by imagining something that tastes really nice. What's our favorite taste? Maybe it's when we drink orange juice or have a hot chocolate. Can we remember what that tastes like? And that's 1 thing that we can taste. Okay. Now, when we've gone through all of those, we are taking count of our senses, and it helps our brain to slow down and focus on just that. Our brain then doesn't have time to think about anything else, like things we might be nervous about or things we might be worried about. It's like pressing pause and giving your mind a little break. And again, this exercise is something that you could do at any time you want, because we can do it in our heads. We can do it as well where we can count it off in our hands. 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And you can do it with somebody else, or you can do it by yourself. Okay, and again, we'll just take note of how do we feel right now. We had to focus really hard on that. And this is the first time that we did this exercise, so it probably was pretty distracting. Okay, are we ready for another exercise? This is our last one. It's called the tension and release game. Okay, so like a balloon that's filled up with air, when we let go of that balloon, when it gets blown out, it kind of goes all back to being just like rubber and soggy. We're going to do that with our breathing and our bodies. Because sometimes when we're feeling a little bit stressed, when we've had a long day in school, when we've had a lot going on, we don't notice it, but sometimes our bodies can get a bit tense and we can feel really tight and tense. So this exercise is going to help us to feel a little bit looser and just relax, okay? Now, we're going to sit again comfortably wherever we've been sitting, and we're going to take a deep breath and let it out. Maybe we can let it out so loud that people can hear us, okay? So deep breath in and then out. Okay, and now for this exercise, you can close your eyes again and just listen to me talk through the game, okay? So we'll close our eyes. We're sitting comfortably in our seats. And now we're going to start to gently tighten different parts of our body, squeezing them like we do with a ball or a balloon, and let them go so they feel loose and soft. Okay, we're going to start with our hands. So sitting in our seats, taking a breath into our belly and letting it out through our nose and mouth. With our eyes closed, we're going to feel our hands in our lap start to tighten. We'll make our hands into fists and squeeze it tight, like you're holding on to something really important. And we're going to count from 3, 2, 1, and now we can let it go. And we feel our fingers relax and get soft. Great, you're doing a great job. So let's try some more, okay? Again, we're going to do it with our hands. We're going to squeeze our hands into tight fists, holding on something like we're holding on something really, really important, really tight. And then 3, 2, 1. We let our hands just relax back into our laps, down to our sides. And we're breathing into our belly and out through our nose and mouth. And now we're going to move on to our arms. So with our eyes closed, our feet on the ground or sitting in our chairs. We're going to now bring your arms to pretend like you're a robot and tighten your arms like they're stiff metal. So they might be tightened to your sides. You might want to put them around you like you're giving yourself a hug. And tight, tight, tight. Hold your arms super tight like they're stiff like metal. And again, 3, 2, 1. We release our arms. We feel our arms go loose, like spaghetti noodles, just very loose. While we're taking a breath into our bellies and out through our nose and mouth. And we'll do this one more time. You feel our arms go super tight. Tight, tight, tight. Might be giving ourselves a hug. Tight, tight, tight. Before going 3, 2, 1. And we release it, letting our arms go nice and loose. And now we'll do the same thing for our shoulders. With our eyes closed, we're breathing in and out. We're going to put our shoulders, we're going to shrug our shoulders as if our shoulders are trying to touch our ears. Like you're hiding your head inside your shoulders. Squeeze them tight. And again, hold for 3, 2, 1. And we let them drop. Nice and relaxed at our sides. You can give them a little wiggle if you want. And we'll do that one more time where you shrug your shoulders into your ears, holding tight, almost like you're a turtle going back into its shell. Tight, tight, tight. 3, 2, 1. And we let our shoulders go back down and relax at our sides. And now we can feel our face. So with our eyes closed, taking a breath into our bellies and out through our nose and mouth, we scrunch up our face. Oh, we scrunch it all up. Eyes go super tight, nose scrunched up, mouth scrunched up, and tight, tight, tight. And we hold that for 3, 2, 1 before you let it go. And maybe even a little smile might come out because we're trying to relax our face. And we'll do that one more time where you squeeze your eyes shut, scrunch up your nose like you're doing an awful face to somebody, scrunching up your eyes, scrunch up your nose, scrunch up your mouth. And we hold it 3, 2, 1. And you can let your face muscles relax now again. Your face goes completely blank almost, nice and relaxed. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to tighten up our legs and feet. So we press our feet into the floor if you're sitting on a chair, or you can tighten your leg muscles, maybe going up towards your body if you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, and you hold them tight, tight, tight. Or if you're pushing them against the floor, you push the floor away. Super tight, pushing the floor away. And again, 3, 2, 1, and you let go. You feel your legs kind of go heavy and relaxed and just let them part just there on the floor. That's great. Okay. And we'll do that one more time where our legs, we scrunch them up or push the floor away, pushing it away, counting 3, 2, 1. And we feel our legs relaxing again. And now we take a big deep breath through your nose and let it out slowly through your mouth. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And again, we just ask ourselves, how does my body feel now? If you guys did the exercise, does it feel a little bit lighter? Do you feel a little less tense? This is something you can try anytime you want, at home or in school, anytime that we feel like we're maybe frustrated or really stressed or even a little bit tired, and we just need to feel a little bit more like ourselves. You can do this exercise yourself as well. Okay? I'll take one last deep breath into the belly. and we'll let it out. Okay, great job, everyone. So now we've gone through 3 mindfulness exercises. You've practiced really good breathing. You've practiced really good making sure your body is just a little bit less tense and trying to relax it that little bit more. And you've taken a great first step in practicing these exercises, and hopefully you can do these exercises more in the future. Again, at home, you can maybe show your brothers or sisters or mom or dad, because mindfulness is like a superpower that you can use anytime you want. Okay, so keep practicing, and remember your calm is always with you. You always have your breath with you, and you can do this at any time you want. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Victoria. That was a lovely session. I really hope everybody in the classrooms today have enjoyed it as much as I did and are feeling nice and relaxed and calm after listening to Victoria. So we're just going to pop up our poll for the teachers to give us some feedback on today's workshop. And as that is happening, I just want to share a reminder of our Childline services for young people up on screen now. If you and your class would like to share any photos of you taking part in today's workshop, please don't forget to tag us on Childline, or tag Childline on the school's social media posts. And a reminder to everybody that this workshop has been recorded, so please keep an eye on ISPCC digital platforms for the recording so you can re-watch the activities. We'd like to conclude today's workshop by saying a big thank you to Victoria and to all of you for watching and taking part. And we really hope you enjoyed the different activities and hope that you'll be able to use them in your day-to-day life. So enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Friday. Bye.